we're going to be installing the doorstop. This actually is going to keep your window from going further up, limiting the distance of where you want this top to be, so you can actually seal up against the door. With this doorstop, you will have a template inside the instructions. This template is going to have an upper hole position and a lower hole position. These are two holes. You actually reference the upholstery originally on this car has holes where the clips go to. You're going to use those as reference guides, and then you actually drill in the parts indicated where it says drill here. Same as the bottom, you have same thing. Two upholstery clip holes as a reference guide, and you drill two holes here for the new doorstop. You'll notice that they will line up. You will have to slot the bottom ones left to right so you can give an adjustment to how high you want the window to be. So the doorstop is pretty easy. Once you figure out the pattern, drill the holes, slot them, they bolt right in. Once they're bolted into place, take your nuts, roll the window up, and then check your distance to see where you want it to be. Start at an even point right here. Close your door. Check your clearance. Make sure it's roughly at the height you want it to be. That's about right there. Maybe just a tad bit lower. Just roll it, John, just a bit. And with the bracket in place, simply tighten. Adjust accordingly, and your window will stop every single time at that point. Roll the window all the way down. Roll it back up just to test it. Perfect. You will have to adjust the roof rail seal from this point to the bottom to compensate the difference in angle that the glass seal's in. Very simple. You pull back your original roof rail seal. Make sure you don't tear it along the way. If you need to replace it at this point, go right ahead. And then you basically shift it out according to the difference between the gap between the door glass and the body. You'll find that out along the way. It's pretty simple to do. You pull the original seal out. Remove the screws. The gap itself right here is going to move to roughly about between the sheet metal on the angled part and the actual frame of the body. You should be able to have about a 3/4 to a 1 inch gap. And you just test it back and forth. As soon as you get a tight seal, you're going to have to open and close the door and figure out what is your exact position. These roof rail seals were designed to shift back and forth. Ford made them that way. They thought ahead. Okay. Just put your rubber back in place. On the final stages, you will have to glue the rubber down. Right now we're just doing a test fit. Okay, that's roughly where we want the rubber to be. Okay, we still have a small gap between the actual roof rail seal and the glass. What you can also do is on the back end, of the rubber to take up that slack is actually put a filler in the back. You can use a 1/4 inch foam pad on the back end just to take up the difference between here and here. You want to make sure that your seal is up against the glass so you have a nice seal as you're cruising down the street, and you get no water inside as well. So this seal right here has been shifted to roughly about 3/4 inch to 1 inch out, compensating the difference here. In order for the top of the door glass to seal correctly into the top roof rail seal, there are 2 adjustment points that pitch the angle, which are your adjustment bolts at the bottom. You got one in the rear and you got one in the front. By pushing them out, you are counterbalancing the top of the glass coming in. You find your position by gauging it in and out. You're going to have to open and close the door a couple of times to figure out your distance. It's fully adjustable in several points. You got one adjustment here, and then you also got a 3rd adjustment up here. You are going to have to mess with it for a little bit until you get the adjustment correct. Ford bodies and a lot of older bodies back then, there's a lot of different tolerance changes among the bodies and the doors, and so we made this kit as far as we can fully adjustable, as much as we can fully adjustable. We try to make this kit as easy as possible, and hopefully we succeeded. Next step is going to be installing the scrapers onto this the door skid. On the front part of the door, you're going to have to remove the upper bolt of the lower hinge. It is the upper mounting bolt for the lower hinge, and you're going to be replacing it with the new one we have in our kit.